It's time to pop the top off with Pub Talk today. We are back with another live show. Finally, we have live sports to talk about. Some
Holy
more
shit.
NFL talk, some more movie talk. There's always some beer tasting here in the summer and hops of the week. But before we get to all that, Pub Talk is brought to you by Route 11 Chips. We know that it's summertime, but we all want to just sit on the couch, binge watch Netflix, and stuff our faces with some chips. And Route 11
Go
has
ahead.
got
We
you
brought
covered in
Route
that
11
department.
tonight. We got Route
Since
11 here.
1992, Route 11 has been chipping away to give its consumers a great and tasty product. So make sure you check out your local Martin's Food Line and Giant to pick up a bag today. Okay, let's do this. Coach,
Yeah,
stop
buddy.
interrupting me in the
I'm
fucking
sorry.
intro.
I was. You said Route 11 Chips, and I love those guys. Your mother happened to bring down Route 11s because our guest, well, one of our guests has already had them. Another one of our guests that we've freaking chatted to has never had them, and he's about to be totally. And John is
Wow.
Never had them.
never had them.
Okay,
Yeah,
speaking of John, welcome back. He was on 2 episodes ago, a
Yeah.
special guest from Coach.
Yeah, one of
So
my
he was on
closest
there.
childhood friends, John Schittledecker, is on the show.
And then the notorious Vig is back.
Yeah,
once again.
notorious VIG.
I'm going to
baby.
use the Twitter handle, too.
I love
I'm gonna use it.
Vigna's like having a little brother along, and I enjoy having him around.
Well, he's going to be
So,
busy here soon, hopefully, with school.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Be
call him
around here that
Matthew.
much.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm gonna call him Matthew.
He calls him Matthew because John said that when he's listened to the show in the past, he's like,
Oh,
"Is
Matthew
that
McConaughey,
Matthew
yeah.
I'll take
McConaughey?"
it. I'll take it.
He asked him as soon as he got here.
Starts
You
out
drive a
real
Lincoln?
low and then
You
it
drive?
accelerates a little.
You drive a Lincoln?
That's what I said.
All right, live sports
Awesome.
finally is back.
Yes, yes.
The Major League Baseball is back. And so now I am still not watching live sports because
Yeah.
it's the MLB.
Well, you know what?
I'm still not
I
watching.
watched the first night with the Yankees and the Nationals, and Dr. Fauci throwing out the first
That
pitch.
was
Holy shit!
horrendous.
Holy
That's not a
shit!
first pitch.
One of the
He
greatest.
flattened the curve, all
Yeah,
right.
somebody
Yeah,
said-
there
He
you go.
flattened the curve, buddy.
You know what? And somebody said one of the great lines, and I wrote it down. And Dr. Fauci didn't want anyone to catch anything because of fucking.
There
It
you
was
go.
just awful. It was awful. But when you think about MLB with the COVID and the fact that this shit hit professional sports like it did in the middle of all of that
Not
COVID
just
argument
professional,
was
every
well
sport
everything
imaginable.
just in life in general, but
The Olympics
especially
was canceled too.
Right.
Everything
yeah, they're
is
gonna
gone.
bump it. They're gonna bump it a year, right?
I know, but I'm
And
just
so,
saying,
but it
2020
um,
sucks, people.
it got into some collective bargaining with the Major League Baseball Players Association. They agree on this. There's big contracts. When you talk about freaking Garrett Cole, freaking Betts, and with the Dodgers, you get $380 million. The Dodgers are going to have freaking him for 13 years now. Holy
Imagine
cow.
if you're a Red Sox fan right now.
Oh, I know, and he's probably one of the best outfielders in all the game, right next to and playing behind the best player in all of baseball, and Mike Trout. In terms of playing in the outfield and hitting, freaking Betts is a freaking hell of a ball player. He's a hell of a ball. And then freaking Anthony Rendon leaving and heading to California to the Angels.
Holy
the whole thing-
shit, the Angels.
Well, my whole
God.
thing with this is I'm trying to bring it around. I'm trying to bring it back. Is when
This
you
is
watched
as
it.
much exposure except for that movie about the Angels of Anaheim back in the day. What
Yeah.
was that movie called? Angels in the Outfield. That's
Angels
right.
There
in the
you go.
That's the
outfield.
most exposure
When
they
that
got.
was when they were just the Anaheim Angels, because I lived freaking when I was a kid growing up in California. I went to I saw Frank Tanana pitch. I saw Nolan Ryan pitch.
And yet
when
he ended
played
up as a Dodgers fan.
and I love the Dodgers. But the Anaheim Angels, they were so close to where I lived that you could go and it was affordable to go to an Angels game and stuff. And I liked both teams, but I fell in love with the Dodgers more. But the whole thing was, what I'm trying to bring this round full circle, is that it looked normal. Okay, there wasn't a crowd in the stands, but baseball looked normal. It was trying to carry on.
yeah, because there was no fans in the stands normally.
Yeah, but is it
I'm just
but is
joking.
it a big deal
I-
if you're sitting at home?
No.
Yeah, I'm just messing.
Stop
I like to
messing.
rag on baseball because of Tuesday night doubleheader in the middle of August, and you're like, why? And now
Right.
you have
day-night doubleheaders. Yeah.
And now at the National Stadium, you have even like the ballpark noise still going on. It's
Yeah,
like
and
it's
they
still kind
pipe
of
it
the
in.
experience.
Right.
Well, you got the announcers saying, screaming like they always do. You got the walk-up music. So you know,
Yeah.
but
If you're sitting at home, is it that big of a deal that you're not there?
now if you're a Blue Jays fan,
Oh boy.
Okay. Okay. Fuck Canada. You know how I feel about Canada. Fuck those assholes. Yeah, it's like America North. If they freaking
Okay,
really
we're not
needed
getting into
shit,
this
they would-
now.
I'm
All
sorry,
right.
but
All
fuck
right.
Canada.
Talking about-
And it got ruined because of some douchebag kid that I
I
was
tried.
playing against on freaking Call of Duty, asshole kid.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, I was playing. But the thing is, one of the cool things about Major League Baseball is the extra inning rule. Have you guys heard about the extra inning rule?
the runner on second.
Yeah, where they start the runner on second who was the last out of the previous inning. So if you made the third out in the previous inning
Yeah.
and you go into extra innings, you are on second base.
Wow.
That's who they put on second base.
So they're trying to end it fast. I
Right,
guess.
right.
Yeah.
And what the whole
and,
thing is
and
that,
not play 2 games like some of these.
right,
ones
right,
last
right.
year. I
Because
mean-
they have a minimalized schedule,
Oh,
60
yeah.
games, and it's just kind of hard to play them.
Yeah, makes sense.
It does, doesn't it?
And then the
I like it.
NBA
I think they
is
should keep it.
coming back on
Because
Thursday.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're in their
30th.
they're in their scrimmage games right
And
now.
guess what? The virus in the bubble, it's gone. Like it's completely gone. There is
No,
no
it's
virus.
not. No, it's not.
everybody
Somebody will
has
come
been
along
cleared.
and say,
No, but everybody in the quarantine bubble is cleared. Nobody has tested positive. Every single person that is a part of the NBA in that bubble has no one tested positive. Every single team, every single
That's cool.
player, every single
That's
staff
cool.
member, every single
who's the
Analyst, yeah.
freaking was it Juan? Is it Juan Soto?
Juan
The
Soto.
guy- yeah, Juan Soto from. He's asymptomatic, and they freaking booted his ass on freaking opening night. They just said,
I don't want to.
"Hey,
I don't
hey,
want to like.
Juan, you need to take a freaking step
He's from the
back."
Dominican Republic. I'm not
What are
saying.
you cursing at him for?
I'm not saying that like he wasn't down there over the summer.
Well,
or-
yeah.
Or
And-
Right.
But
probably
the
Yeah.
thing is,
Yeah.
they said he tested positive, but they didn't tell him. They didn't tell everybody later that he's asymptomatic. There's nothing wrong with him. He just tested positive. So I think he's got to go through the freaking Major League Baseball protocol, and he'll be back. And hopefully, knock
mean-
on wood, everything will be good with
you
him.
mean
And
people are going to test positive for this disease?
yeah,
What? Sorry,
yeah. Well,
I won't get into that.
all I can say is my Dodgers are 2-0. They've scored 17 runs in their freaking first 2 games. 17 runs.
yeah,
and
and
I've only
they'll lose
allowed
in the
2.
playoffs. Who gives
Yeah,
a shit?
well, Okay.
Or they'll
that'll
lose
wait.
in the World Series like they have the past 5
You're
years.
halfway
Or we'll
across
get-
the room, but I thought
we'll
you just
get
attempted to
Clayton
kick me in
Kershaw.
the nuts, didn't he? He just
We'll get-
tried that.
Twice.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm just.
Clayton-
Re-
And Clayton Kershaw, who was supposed to pitch opening night, he's like, my back hurts.
I'm just
Instead
getting a head
of-
start because I know you'll give
Well,
a joke and
he's
I'll
always
stare
got
up
an
at the
excuse.
ceiling and I'll just want to-
Yeah, they'll lose in the playoffs, but
Okay, let's get to the NFL more often here because like a lot of things have happened. First, I want to talk about Alex Smith.
How
He's
about
gotten
that?
the clear okay from
Yes.
the doctors. One of the most horrifying injuries in the NFL.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I got the
that's
golf clap for
amazing.
freaking
I mean,
Al-
that's
Alex Smith.
ridiculous.
CJ and I watched, well, actually, his mother made us watch the documentary about him recovering
The
from his
61?
injury. Yeah. And how horrific did his fucking leg look?
Horrendous.
Well, the worst part was the It was
Oh,
the
yeah,
infections,
yeah,
not
yeah,
really the
yeah.
surgery. It was
And-
what happened after.
Right. And to think that guy,
I mean, he was in a
Cleared
halo on his freaking leg.
he cleared NFL doctors and he is cleared
5 NFL doctors.
In less
cleared
than
him.
a
cleared
year.
to play.
Wow.
It's like Adrian Peterson. You think back to him tearing his ACL. He's back in 8 months after tearing an ACL.
I just
And
ran into
this
one
guy
of our
broke his
former,
leg.
we just ran into one of our former players, or I ran into one of our former players, and he's 7 months out of surgery. He had torn ACL, meniscus, and lateral collateral tear, not complete separation. He completely ruptured his ACL, torn meniscus, and then, but anyway, 7 months later, he's in the gym. 3 sets of 8 at 365, and he can run and cut and do everything
Wow.
7 months away from surgery. So how good are these doctors repairing these kids'
Wow.
knees?
It's night and day from the Joe Theismann incident,
Mike Perry?
where he was never
Oh,
going
yeah,
to be
yeah,
Mike
able to play
Perry,
again.
he's a freaking grown ass man. I always call him Magic Mike because he's a very, very good student. But I was like, Mike, you can make so much money freaking stripping. Dude, he slapped together. Mikey is 6'2", 6'3", and he's a grown ass man. He's just slapped together, but he's a goofy son of a bitch. He is so much fun to be around. He's so positive. He's so uplifting. He's a great kid. I wish him nothing but the best. To be 7 months out of surgery, being as strong as he is right now, is crazy.
Well, he was
That's
strong to
just-
begin with. So,
Yeah, I know that, but
that also helps.
But it's like
But-
the AP thing that
Yeah.
CJ brought up.
And that
I
was
mean,
back in 2013 that happened.
right, and how good have these doctors been at repairing these torn ACLs,
Alex
meniscus, all that stuff?
I think Alex Smith injury is horrifying.
I know it's
he
not even
almost
close.
lost his leg.
He almost lost his leg, and the amount of like screws and bolts that they had to put into his damn leg, he probably couldn't have walked again if it didn't happen. And then you think back to Joe Theismann, he was never going to play football again.
Back
Never.
then,
Back then, he was
yeah.
never
Yeah.
going.
What the hell's the name of those freaking things with were they Tinker Toys or what the fuck were those things?
Tinker Toys.
Erector set. Erectors. Remember the things with all the holes and you can put screws
Oh,
and
yeah.
nuts and bolts
Director said.
that freaking Alex Smith put back together with a Erector set.
Poor, I don't want to say like poor Dwayne Haskins, but the Redskins right now.
They have like
Now they're
17
called-
quarterbacks,
now they're
right?
called the fucking Washington football team, and they got Alex Smith coming back now. They like, what is going on with Washington? It's all over the place right now with them.
The Washington Smiths.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
if he plays one down in football, he gets the comeback player of the year. I don't think there's any doubt. If he
I think you're
steps
right.
onto the
I think
field.
that's a very, very prominent thing.
It's like Eric Berry when he came back from
Yeah.
Hodgkin's lymphoma. He
Yeah.
literally was diagnosed with cancer. He comes
Yeah.
back next year, and he's comeback player of the year.
Why not?
I did,
And he's a phenomenal player too. Freaking phenomenal player.
but Washington right now,
So what do you think of that? I mean, what's your thoughts?
they're
To be
late.
called the Washington football
So
team.
generic.
I'll-
I mean, what else? What else can you say?
I'll be-
Generic.
I'll
The
be
capital
frank
G.
with you right now. It's lazy.
So I say
It's
you,
lazy
if you're
right
going to
now.
be called the Washington football team, I say you just go black and white, just like the generic cans of beer that used to say beer on the label, and it was a white can with black label and just said beer.
But that's why I'm saying it's lazy, because you're telling me that like, we got nothing. Out of the millions of names that you could think of, it's like,
Their helmet should be like a
let's
white
just go with
wig.
the generic.
You know, George Washington. I mean,
A powdered wig.
yeah, powdered.
I don't get it from them. It's like, oh, we're going to be the same color scheme,
Yeah.
but we're going to be different. Washington football team. That sounds great.
That's what
That sounds lazy.
That was their hold call. They're going hold. You
Yeah.
know, they're not going to snap it on one. They're going to go hold. They're going to check with me on the sideline, and they're going to decide what they're going to run. My whole thing is this.
Just come out with a nickname if you're
Right,
going to do
that's
that.
what I'm
anything.
saying.
Yeah, my whole thing is this. Even if they change the name to the Washington Generals, I'm just saying, just
Right.
in
I
general.
wouldn't even try and go in that direction. I would
whatever,
say the Wolves.
whatever they
Seattle Kraken just came out. Like,
right.
that's-
How cool
yeah.
was that
that's
freaking
that's
symbol?
A badass name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and-
like that.
I saw this tweet online, and this guy said, "Now welcoming the worst name for a sports franchise in the entire world of professional
What
sports."
an idiot! Bullshit.
And then the top
Kraken.
tweet was, "There's literally baseball teams named after socks, and you're telling me that this is the worst franchise name ever?"
Right?
Well, apparently it's a mythological creature.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
And it makes sense.
the
If you ever look at the Seattle names, Seattle Seahawks, the Sea, the Kraken, the Sea,
Yeah.
everything up there, it's raining, it's all wet. It's
Oh,
fucking
yeah. Oh,
wet.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
cool.
think it's a great name, man.
I
think it's-
love the octopus up the middle, the red eye, and then like the I guess I
I've
don't
seen
know, the
Pirates
hook.
of the Caribbean. I know what the Kraken is. I've seen it.
You think
Yeah.
they're gonna have Kraken skulls? Release the Kraken.
Will Johnny Depp be their?
Well,
will
him and him and his bad tooth or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is this: in Washington, are people not going to wear the old? I'm sorry, forgive me for saying this.
The
Are they
Redskin.
not going? Are they not going to have Skins old jerseys
But
and stuff?
but the
Who's
Red-
not going to a
but the
freaking game
Redskin
with?
thing is not like derogatory. There was
You
someone.
say that now.
It was made by
yeah.
in honor of
I know. You
in
can say-
honor of.
just-
I know that, but it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone, my friend. It's like
It's but yeah, they're trying to eradicate all Redskins memorabilia.
Yeah, but who's not wearing? Who's not? I'm gonna wear my Dexter Manley jersey, my Joe Theismann, my Riggins, John Riggins. Who's not gonna wear a number
yeah.
or
There you
your
go.
Mark Mosley,
or
Daryl
Mark
Green?
Mosley, or Daryl Green?
My-
Bruce Smith,
Yeah, all these freaking great former.
Clinton Portis,
Yeah, well,
Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor. How are you going to take Sean Taylor out of the Skins
You
Skins
can't.
uniform? How
You
are you going to
can't.
change?
Doesn't make any sense.
I think Tom is going to kill Coach here in a sec because Coach is just sitting on him and he's like, I think he's going to kill him.
Ah.
Sorry.
But how do you do that? I don't know how call them the Washington football team for now, but change the damn name and change it soon.
It should have been
But
changed.
because you're not going to change what people are wearing to the games. If I'm a freaking fan, I got my Riggins jersey and I'm going to the fucking game. And there's nothing you can do or say about it. What are you going to do? I'm going to come to the game and I'm going to wear a Washington Redskins John Riggins uniform or jersey, I'm sorry. And you're going to tell me I can't come in because I'm sliding
They can't purge it. I mean, it's not like they
Right.
can purge it.
Right.
It's
Okay,
just-
but
it doesn't.
they are regulating now masks. The NFL has already now come out and said, if you want to come to a game, you have to wear a mask.
Well, I don't have a problem. You watch freaking Major League Baseball, and those people are doing shit. There's freaking cardboard cutouts in the fucking stands.
Yeah,
I'd wear a mask to get to an NFL
Better
game.
than
You're
nothing,
fucking
right?
right.
Better
yeah,
than empty
it's,
seat.
it's mandated
Huh?
by them.
Better
now.
than an empty seat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn right.
You should
Damn
just name
right.
on the Washington monuments. Put a big tower on it. Just let it go.
a big tower.
You know the, Washington,
Washington
monument.
Monument.
Right. Yeah. Well,
and now the NFL,
Just-
and then some freak. Never mind.
Yeah.
the big
That's a big tower you got on your helmet, sir. Your tower's bigger than.
and then
Sorry.
the big
Just kidding.
the NFL, the big question mark was like the Players Association talking with the NFL. Is there a plan in place about like what are you going to do to ensure the safety of these players and everybody coming to the stadium? Well, Philly already said, well, no one's allowed in the stadium this year.
Right. And what's his name? Mark
uh,
Javis with the Raiders. There's a brand new stadium in Vegas, and he's even considering not having any
Wow.
Imagine the money
fans.
Yeah.
they're losing. I mean, it's
People don't
crazy.
think about that, unfortunately. They
and the
they-
jobs. It's just
Billion-dollar
Yeah.
industry. It's a billion-dollar multi-billion-dollar industry.
That's what
It
I
just
always
is.
think about before the money. I think about the jobs that these professional
That is
sports
the money.
organizations create is massive. Just from concessions,
Right.
just from
What's the hot dog
purchasing
guy gonna do?
merchandise at the
he's gonna be on the
fucking
streets selling
stadium.
hot dogs. I'm like,
Right.
Like you're telling me that it's like, oh well, they have the money, they can wait. What about the fucking people that do seasonal work for these types of organizations
right,
and make
right.
a killing? Work
Fancy
70
Clancy,
hours,
one of our favorite beers, can't freaking be serving beers, down at
especially
freaking
in the
Camden
MLB
Yards.
level, working 70 hours a week and then they get an off season off because they make so much money from fucking working
Right.
at these games.
Right.
I think
Ice
about
cold
that
beer here.
before.
Peanuts,
I do the money. It's like, oh, they
Cracker
can wait. No, they can't.
Go
'Cause
card.
There's more at stake than you think.
Right.
You're just
There
too
is.
narrow-minded
You
to
think
think
about the
about
one
that.
guy who just stands out there
what
and
about
he
the guy that
works-
operates the kiss cam? Man, he's gonna be in trouble.
the
Well, there
kiss-
would be no kissing of the masks in
Yes,
my
that's
stadium.
true.
okay?
Right.
That's true.
Oh shit. No kiss cam.
Okay, and then the NFL, working with the NFLPA, they've reached an agreement that training camp will start 2 weeks.
Yeah, 28.
At the end of July.
Zero
End of July,
preseason,
28.
right?
Zero.
I don't recall.
There was
reading that.
there was
There
a
was a proposal. It was
for
two.
for two,
two.
and I think they
Went to zero.
went to zero,
Okay.
and they're gonna get after it. So John's grandson is going haywire over here on the freaking.
He went on the podcast. He's got his.
he might have. A
he's
drink or two in
immortalized.
him. I think he's got a drink or two in him. Look at Coach.
I-
Coach is going fucking crazy over there. He's like, "What in the hell?"
Just go rub
is
up
in my
against him. He'll freak out, Coach, because that's all that cat fucking does. So, but yeah, training camp is going to happen. So I'm happy to see that about professional football.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of college football, it's still up in the air right now. It really is. I like around the country.
But there's like at most 5 cases max in some of these Power 5 conferences.
the
Yet
big
they're going to
one-
cancel the season.
Yeah,
The,
the
big
vast
one
majority
was
of
Michigan
There's
State.
more people
Well-
that have the flu right now.
Well,
The big one was Michigan State
Well,
right now. About how
I
they
mean,
had
I mean, how
to
many of these guys?
an ex Michigan State.
I mean, how many?
They're
of these
non-
guys
they're-
are
they're a
asymptomatic?
non-factor.
JMU, my school, they put it out on Twitter. They've tested over 200 people. 2 people are asymptomatic. The rest are fine.
I don't know.
And all the staff members have been tested as well, and none of them are positive.
Just think about the budgets of these athletic departments.
Yes.
How much money the football game
we've talked about it in high school.
brings
We've-
in.
We talked about it in high
It
school.
pays for all the Olympic sports.
I talked
It
with our
pays-
athletic director, and he's talking about us getting set behind for the next 3 years. We were due for new uniforms this year, and he's like, "This is irreparable harm to our budget." And he goes, "You're not going to get new uniforms. We could be 2 years, 3 years before
Wow.
new uniforms
Never even
before
thought
we
about
could
that.
recover
Mhm. That's
financially."
crazy.
But all
Yeah.
people want to put out on Twitter is the scary thing about what was it? The Patriot League, the Ivy League,
Yeah.
is like, oh, they're canceling all fall sports.
well, the Ivy
They
League,
don't make any money worth. They
well,
don't
the,
make
the
any
Ivy
money.
Well, they
League
don't-
isn't even eligible.
They're
I
not.
did that- but
they
I'm
don't even.
saying,
they
like,
don't have scholarship athletes.
None of
on
those
teams.
sports make any money worth amount to give a damn.
I know, because
For
and
their
a lot
Well,
of that
yeah.
has to do with the fact that there are no scholarship athletes. You
I
go to
mean-
Harvard, there are no scholarships.
It's
to
the
go to
thing with the
Harvard.
Patriot League. That's like Colgate, Lafayette. They're
Yeah.
not making those sports.
Yeah,
It's not that much of a loss in terms of like
Nah,
just cutting those sports.
Big time FCS like CAA,
Yeah,
like,
but JMU has
Ma-
already come out and said
Big
that
Sky. You
Yeah.
know?
the Southern Conference is the Southern Conference is like, yeah, we'll start September. That's
Huh?
what they said. Their
Huh?
season will start.
I
did-
There used to be an old saying in football. It says, "We have a bus, we'll travel." Well, let's find a fucking game and let's get after it.
Now,
Mhm.
everyone is concerned about like all this, but I guarantee you there will be a capacity at these stadiums.
Max. Yeah,
And I'm okay with that
Yeah,
to
I think
happen.
so. I think that's okay
Right.
with me too.
That has to
Look,
be.
if
the
you have an
case for
NFL
me.
stadium and it's at 70,000,
Pittsburgh is like 70,000.
70,000.
seats.
You're
and
like
they say-
20%
or
or something
50%,
like that.
50%.
You're going
and
to
you
have
have
a couple
35
sections cut off and have social distancing in
Right,
place.
35,000 fans.
And masks.
I would just
be worn.
fucking show up for the freaking tailgating,
It's true.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah!
You're right.
And just get close enough to the stadium to enjoy
Wi-Fi
it, listen
is a
to it on
thing,
the radio. No shit.
Hotspots is a thing.
Right. I'll just watch it. We'll just freaking.
I will bring my direct TV
or just
satellite
go to
dish.
the
We'll-
bar
we'll
across
just
the
bitch
parking
in.
lot.
If they have bar access,
Wow.
because right now they
Wow.
don't. But
Yeah,
if
true.
I'm a bar, I freaking post my freaking big 70-inch or my 80-inch TV or
Outdoor
whatever it is,
seating.
and create some outdoor seating and pump it up as best you can.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
People are just on the verge right now of like just put sports off, and it's like people, you have no idea what's coming. People are gonna want something to do this
Yes.
fall, and
Yes,
that's
they
watch
are.
sports
Well,
at any cost.
well, I mean, the Nats Yankees game was the most watched Major League Baseball game in like 9 years. I mean, think about it. You haven't had live sports since.
other than the WNBA recently.
well, not even that. Well,
I'm just pulling.
well.
I'm just pulling your chain, but yeah.
well,
I get what
but
you're
I
saying.
mean,
Golf.
well, yeah,
You-
but
you consider-
9
I don't
years.
watch that.
If you consider that a sport.
Well, it is. It is.
Sorry, because he plays it all
No,
the
some
damn
people-
time.
Nah.
Sorry.
Oh, does he? I didn't
Yeah,
know
he
did.
plays it all the time now because he doesn't do anything. Just like we haven't been doing much this past month.
Yeah.
Hasn't been much. Okay, so the NFL right now is on track still. So I'm hoping that if there isn't a preseason, I'm okay with that. I've never enjoyed
No.
the
I hate the
preseason.
preseason.
It's always been about the new players, the rookies that come in to say like, hey, this is where you earn your spot on the roster. That's what it's always been about.
Right.
If you ever watch Hard Knocks, that is what it's always about. In the deep voice, is he going to make the roster, like on the final cuts? So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Okay, Coach, what are you doing?
I was getting glasses ready.
I'm
for
I'm happy the
3 years.
PIAA
Okay,
is on
well,
schedule.
yeah.
We're gonna.
They
we're
are.
gonna
That's
move
what
on
I'm. That's
to,
what I'm happy about.
We're
I
gonna.
was just arranging glasses because we got stuff on the bar surface, so
So
I'm trying
far,
to get it
anyway.
cleaned up. That's all.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on. Yeah, we're gonna move on to movies now, since that was the only live sports talk that we have is the 7 games of Major League Baseball. And nobody wants to sit here and constantly talk about Major League Baseball because we are not a Major League Baseball podcast. So this week on movies, we have the best and cheesiest movie quotes out there. If you watch a lot of movies, you'll remember some of the movie quotes that like you're like, oh my God, that I am hyped after listening to that, or like that was really powerful. And then you'll listen to some quotes that you'll just be like, why the fuck did you say that? Why? And that just ruined the mood. Or it's like, that's my kind of humor, but like, dude, come on now. That doesn't help out anything. It's cheesy stuff like that. So which ones do you guys
They
wanna
call that
start
the
with?
douche chills.
Which one do you guys want to start with? Cheesy or great one or best ones?
Let's start with the tougher one. Let's start with the cheesy shit.
Okay, the cheesy ones. Okay.
The worst ones.
The worst.
You know what? I didn't do any worst ones.
It's
but-
not the worst ones because like
I
ones
don't know if there's
Not so
like.
great ones.
There's like cringeworthy. There's like douchey ones that you hear, and
Yeah.
you're like,
All right,
oh my
let's
god.
hear it. Let's
that's-
hear what you define as.
okay. I'll start first then. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. Independence Day. I was like, come on, man! I saw that coming from a mile away.
Where the
I'm standing
president,
up there,
where
on
the president's standing
Yeah.
up there. Today we present our.
we celebrate our Independence Day, and everyone's going crazy. And I was like, that's why the movie's called Independence Day. People, you didn't know that? That's just fucking cheesy to me.
Right.
You didn't even have to say that in the movie, and I would have.
Well, one of
said
mine, and John and I were talking about this, and we're gonna create a section or not a section, but a segment on the show where we pick an actor who's had really good lines and really douchey lines, just a single person. And one of the guys who's comes up with really good ones and really douchey ones is Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold
yeah, he-
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the best ones that's really cheese dick is when he's in Commando and he kills the bad guy at the end of the movie. The bad guy's name is Bennett. And he freaking kills him with this big pipe in his chest. And he's like, why don't you let off some steam, Bennett? And I'm like, what the fuck? This is like a cheese dick movie from the very beginning.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
But at the very
Yeah.
at the very
He's
end,
the worst and the best.
yeah,
Arnold.
he kills the guy. You know, you go from hasta la vista, baby, to why don't you let off some steam, Bennett?
Cool off. It's like, yeah.
And he fucking kills him. And so shit like that just
Yeah.
irks
I
me.
feel you.
One of the other really, really douchey ones, and it just gives me, and I call it douche chills. But do you ever get one of those things where you watch the movie and you hear the line being said and you're like, ooh, that's really bad. One of my worst freaking cringeworthy lines is in Top Gun, where Meg Ryan, making her freaking big screen freaking debut, goes, "Hey, Goose, you big stud, take me to bed or lose me forever." And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, really? That's what you say? That's what you yell out in a bar? Because they're in a bar with their little kid and they're playing the piano and she yells out, "Hey, Goose, you big stud, take me to bed or lose me forever." And I'm like, douche chill.
I got one from the worst Batman movie of the entire series, which is the Batman and Robin movie.
Was it with Arnold though?
Yeah, it was with Arnold. And guess what this line is from? Arnold. It's where he's playing as Mr. Freeze. And
Yeah,
what
like
was
they
it?
cut
What was
him
it?
loose. You know, he made like $25 million playing Mr. Freeze.
That movie was so fucking bad, but it had so many big actors like George
Yeah.
Clooney,
All right,
Uma
he played
Thurman, Arnold
Clooney-
Schwarzenegger.
Clooney
yeah.
played Batman.
Batman, yeah. But his line was, "What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age," and he's playing Mr. Freeze, and I'm like, "You fucking assholes! Why would you?" Like that made me want to swing at my TV because I was so mad hearing that.
Another,
stuff.
I got a really good one. How many of you ever seen Roadhouse?
Oh yeah, 100 times.
Oh wait, I think I know what you're gonna say.
100
What?
times.
Pain don't hurt.
Pain don't hurt.
Pain don't
She
hurt.
goes, "Do you like pain?" And he's sitting there with his hand over top of his head like
Yeah.
this, and he's going,
With all the scars.
and I just blew snot out my nose. And she's like, "Do you enjoy pain?" He goes, "Pain don't hurt." And I was just like, "Really?" And she was smoking hot later on when she got naked. That was
Roadhouse was a good movie. I
Yes,
actually liked
it was a good movie.
Is that one of the ones we seen when we were
Probably.
probably? We've seen every.
Patrick Swayze just kicking some dude's ass in a bar. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any funny?
I don't know. I had to look at this.
Oh,
this
I
up.
got a really,
have-
really.
you
I
have-
have
but
the ultimate.
here-
I have the
here you go.
ultimate
Hold on,
cheesy
hold
one
on.
that's funny.
Okay, go ahead though, Vic.
Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Normal's a setting on
Yeah.
the dryer.
Yeah.
that movie
That's
was
Fuck her and
bad.
her
That movie
mascara
was
running
bad,
down
and
her.
it's like
Yeah, but she's
you're not
sexy.
trying to get in my
Yeah,
feelings
no,
right
she
now.
is. When she
You
gets
could pretty
wet-
much dress
when she
anybody
gets
up
wet
like
like
her.
that.
She's-
Yeah.
But my
That's
number
awful.
one cheesy line is like it's my kind of humor because I laugh at it. It's from the movie Airplane. If you've ever seen
Oh.
Airplane before,
There's a million cheesy lines in
it's
there.
wherever they're in the cockpit and what's his name, Leslie Frazier.
Leslie Nielsen.
Neil-
Leslie
Frazier.
Nielsen is standing there, and they go,
Joe Frazier.
and they go, oh,
Joe
wait,
Frazier.
what was it?
Joe
Oh, yeah,
Frazier
it's like,
flashback.
can you fly this plane and land it? Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me
I was like, yes.
That's
That's
a
my
classic.
kinda
The
humor.
classic Leslie Nielsen. I got two more. Jerry Maguire. You complete me. Are you-
Wow.
are you
Tiffany and I
shitting
just
me?
watched that.
Are you shitting
We
me?
just watched-
Show me the money. Freaking Cuba Gooding Jr. freaking rails.
Yeah.
One of the greatest lines in all of movie history.
He won an
And at
Academy
the very
Award.
end, yeah,
right?
he did for best
Yes,
best
he did.
supporting. And then freaking you complete me. And then she says, "Shut up, shut up. You had me at hello."
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Double deuce chill. And then my all-time favorite
With her
one,
lemon lips, like,
Yeah.
look like she just sucked the lemon.
sour lip. Yeah, I call them butthole mouth because she's got
Yeah.
because her mouth looks like.
She doesn't look like that anymore, though. She got
No, I know she got all that bullshit on her face. But my all-time favorite cheese dick line comes from Roddy Piper in one of
Oh.
the greatest movies called They Live.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies.
And he
All right,
they
said,
should redo that one.
R.I.P.
That's a
You
movie
you know
that
what it
they
is?
should redo.
You know what I'm talking about? You know the line?
Nah.
You know the line?
I don't actually.
You don't know this? I came here to chew bubblegum and whip ass,
Oh, there
and
we
I'm
go.
all out of bubblegum. That's what he says in the fucking movie.
Don't you think they should redo that?
Yes.
That should be a remake.
That-
That's
that
a
was-
definite remake.
And that would be so much better
Get
today.
The Rock in there, somebody.
Or
you know?
anybody.
Yeah.
You know, Roddy's no longer with us, but
yeah,
Well,
I'm thinking of her like.
I guess I got one more. J Lo, I guess, was in this movie, Giggly or Jiggly or something like
Geely.
that.
Geely.
Geely, whatever.
Yeah, it
the
was
hell
from freaking, what was his name?
G-
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah.
It's turkey time. Gobble gobble.
Did he have his pants down, his dick out, or what?
Yeah, I'm about to get it on.
Right. That's what I thought. I was
I've
thinking.
never seen that movie. but-
Me either.
No
but
one-
I just
no
thought
one
it's
ever
funny
did.
because it says
No one ever
gobble
did.
gobble.
I think it has a worldwide freaking
Viewing of 10 people.
probably a few more than that, but it didn't even make the money they spent on it.
That's how you know it sucks.
Yeah, it's freaking pure trash. But if
So
you
you-
came
that
here to
means your
chew
dad saw it.
bubble gum and whip
I
ass,
guess so.
and you're all out of bubble gum, hell yeah.
I got a good one.
Uh-oh.
From the Fast and the Furious.
Mm.
Oh, those are-
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Was that Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did you think it was?
I'm thinking, who's
Not
the other
Paul
guy?
Walker.
Well,
Paul Walker wouldn't say that.
he was in. Well,
Well, he could have,
but
but,
that would have been really cool with freaking Vin Diesel because he's got like the best freaking action voice, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's got a badass voice. Paul,
Apparently
Paul Walker
the-
doesn't have much of
Well,
a voice.
all I know
anymore.
is Fast and Furious is going insane because apparently the new one is
It's
going to
into
space.
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah.
Are
Oh,
you serious?
What is
So-
Furious up there? What is Fast?
What are
and
they gonna
Furious about
race?
space?
Like, what are they gonna?
Rocket ships, I guess. I don't know.
All right, some
Well,
of the
they're-
best lines. So
well, they'll be
we got the
drifting.
best ones now?
Maybe.
Get it? They'll be drifting in space. So
Yeah.
What are the best ones?
So I
Say
have-
hello to
I
me.
got a tie
Say
for-
hello to me, little friend.
Oh,
There you go. That's on my.
I
list.
ranked mine. That was ranked number 3. I had a tie for number 5 and a tie for
What,
number
you got
1.
Titanic, Jack? I'm the king of
No,
the world
that's-
up there.
see, that's douchey. I'm the king of the world.
Is
Really?
that your number one?
Like you would
Yeah.
ever get to the front of the
Uh-huh.
Titanic? Really? Are you fucking kidding me? And then you would hang over the railing? Get the fuck out of here. Good thing he freaking Rose Dawson had her big fat ass on the freaking piano cover and freaking Jack froze to death. Fuck that. No?
Triggered coach real quick.
yeah.
So here's my tie for 5th on some of the greatest lines ever. Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh man, I missed that one.
How fucking great is that? And then
I do that to
my,
the kids all the time.
my other tie for 5th place that fits in the same realm as that is no one makes me bleed my own blood. Tell me you have
Oh my
never
God.
seen Dodgeball, and I'll slap you right here, Big.
I love
I'll slap
I
you.
saw it at the movies, but I don't remember the
crammed
line.
up-
Oh my God, cramming up your cram hole, LaFleur, would be up
It's
there.
a bold strategy, Con. We'll see if it pays off.
See if it pays off, God. Yeah.
the true underdog.
So give me
story.
some good ones.
Mine. Some of mine are classics.
So mine,
Some of
are those were my 2. That was tied for 5th. So I came up with 5 good ones. I had
only
a
have
tie for
3.
number 1.
I only have 3. So.
Well, I had a bunch. I couldn't stop. I just
There's
so
a lot
many.
of quotable.
you could do
Yes.
the top 10 with just Clint Eastwood. I mean, what,
right. All right, give me one.
Well, my 5th
Yeah.
is
pulled your
Put your
glasses
cheaters
off,
on.
Put them back.
what I did was I was telling Coach earlier that I picked the ones I would look in the mirror and quote. You know what I mean? Like, you're carrying on. You know, so of course this one. I mean, who hasn't said this at least once? Houston, we have a problem, right? Who hasn't said that?
Yeah.
And that's how I went with my list.
I never said that.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying.
nah.
No, that was a good one. Houston, we have a problem. What a great movie, though. That's a Ron Howard movie, man.
And
Apollo
my
13.
that was my 5th, I think. And my
5th.
4th is, and
Put your cheaters back on.
you can't handle the truth.
I had that in mind
Right.
first. Yeah.
You
but
did.
I took
You
it out.
want the truth? You can't handle it. I think I deserve it. You can't handle.
But I
the
mean, how
truth.
many have you ever
goddamn
said that?
right,
I say that.
No, you're goddamn right. I do.
I say that to my wife on a daily basis. I mean, they're the ones that I use. That's the ones that I put down here. So
I had that in my list, but I had to take it out.
All right.
It's
What's
like-
on yours for number 4?
No, I only have 3. I said.
All right. So my 4th is top. Oh no, that was my Top Gun douche chill one. So you got to ask yourself one question: Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood.
You haven't seen Dirty Harry Vigna?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
no.
Did I
come
fire
on.
6 shots or only 5?
There's a lot of Clint Eastwood movies, but that's one that I actually have seen a lot.
Yeah, and that's a great flick. Clint Eastwood asking the guy laying on the ground if he'd fired 6 shots or only 5, and considering it's the 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world,
There
and
you
would
go.
blow your head clean off, you got to ask yourself one question: Do I feel lucky? And that's what he says. Do you feel lucky? And at the end of the movie, he brings it back and he goes, do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? And the guy freaking grabs a gun and you hear this with his fucking cannon going
Yeah, he
off.
goes, I
And he kills-
gots to know. I
Right.
gots to know.
Right,
And
right.
that was the original.
That the original guy was laying on the ground. I got to know, and he leaned over and he goes click, and he just chuckled at him. That's a great line. But that was my number 4. Definitely number 4. And you already stole my 3.
Sorry.
Say hello to my little
That-
friend, because I always thought that was really cool. Al Pacino,
Yeah.
playing Scarface,
Just
which
sitting
was a
there
cheap.
firing
Yeah,
away.
but that was a
Just
cheese.
sitting
That
there.
was a
like-
cheese dick movie. There were so many cheesy parts in that movie. You know,
Especially that scene where he's literally
Right.
getting pelted with shots.
right? He's got
Just
bullets
sitting
in
there
He's
on
got
the
bullets in
balcony,
it.
just
And he goes, "Say hello to my,
my
little
little
friend." And he freaking got. He's got an M16 with a freaking underbarrel grenade
They're
launcher.
remaking that. I just can't
I
imagine.
heard- I heard.
cannot imagine.
I heard that they're going to remake it. Yeah, but that's a good one. All right, CJ, hit your third.
So, did you listen to the last one, John? The last episode,
Yeah.
the most recent one,
Yes.
where I talked about like, what was it? The best remake was like The Dark Knight. The
oh
Yes,
my
yeah.
god,
but
yes.
this,
You-
but
you-
I talked about
Yes, I listened to it.
I talked about The Dark Knight Rises and how I like that one, but not as good as The Dark Knight. But The Dark Knight Rises has one of the best scenes where Bane first meets Batman and they're in the sewer and like they're fighting each other and like he talks about he's like what was it? He's like, "Oh, you think the darkness is your ally?" And he goes, like,
think
"But you merely only adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. But then it was nothing to me but blinding." And then he just breaks his back over his knee.
Yeah,
And then he
fucking.
goes-
That's what happens in the original comic book series. Is Bane breaks
Yeah.
Batman's back.
He goes, "I am the League of Shadows,
I
and
am.
I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny."
What is this, the Batman? And his freaking basketball Batman. Tom Hardy was phenomenal in
Yeah,
that movie.
and
He
during
was
that
so
scene, like
good.
it's going
I love
crazy
Tom Hardy.
because like they're
Yeah.
breaking into his
In-
mansion already.
And
like,
everything.
There's things
Yeah.
going on everywhere, and I go, "This is not the Joker. Like, who the fuck is this guy right now? Like,
Yeah.
this is a."
Bane cripples Batman. I mean, he just
And then like you see him end up in that prison down in the middle of a hole,
right.
and I go, "Who the fuck is this guy? Who are you?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Batman doesn't lose fights. Like, if you go back to Batman Begins and also The Dark Knight."
Yeah. That's a
He was
classic.
merely challenged, even though the Joker is a good villain.
Right.
He wasn't challenged.
That
And
was
then Bane-
a classic that was a holdover from the comic books,
Yeah.
where Bane is he breaks Batman. He just does.
Yeah.
But Tom Hardy was phenomenal, and the worst part is you don't even get to see Tom Hardy that much because he's got that freaking mask on his face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But his voice, there's a twinge of his Tom Hardy's British accent.
And he's
in
British.
there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy how he's.
There's what's the other movie that the most recent
Venom.
one? Venom. Oh my god, I
We
love
are
that.
Venom.
I love that. But have you seen Venom?
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
man,
I
he's
took
so
Carl
good
to
in
the
that.
movies to see it. My son.
Have you seen it?
No.
All right,
course you
so
have.
what's your number?
Just kidding.
My number
Are we up to number 2 now?
Yeah.
3. Oh, I'm on 3.
All right, get 3.
My 3 is love the smell of napalm. In the
Ah,
Love the smell of napalm in the morning.
damn it! I
Apocalypse Now.
rated that one a little higher.
Apocalypse
Oh,
Now,
number
yeah.
one?
I had a tie for one,
Huh.
and that was a tie for number
I'm
one.
sorry.
But no, that's okay.
That-
That's all right. That's part of the thing.
Love it.
Yo, Adrian.
There you go. Who hasn't said that, right?
Well, which Yo Adrian? Like, are you talking about whenever he's talking to her, or whenever he wins the fucking belt finally
Well.
and he holds it up to the sky? That's all.
He says, "Yo, Adrian, we did it." In the one, but no, I'm just saying. But yeah, hey, yo, Adrian, yeah, that's definitely good. This is from one of my favorite movies of all time. If it's on, we talked about this drive-by movies.
Right.
Die Hard. After he kills the fucking brother of
Yippee-ki-yay.
no,
what?
I
That's
wanted
not-
'Cause I had that one, but I
was
took it
going.
by
I
one.
was going to
Did
do
you have
that
that
one. He kills freaking what's his name, Hans Gruber's brother, and Hans Gruber's brother's sitting on a freaking chair, or no, he's laying in the freaking elevator as it comes up, and on this thing it goes,
No, I
and
have a
now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. And as Hans Gruber reads that from that, and Kathy and I, his mother and I, we have always talked about that. We don't even call it Die Hard. We call it ho, ho, ho. Because that's one of our favorite lines. We're
Yeah, that's a
laying in
good
bed.
one.
Hey, dear.
That's a great
Hey,
one. I
dear.
never even thought
How
of
about, and now I have a machine gun. Ho, Oh, there she knows because that's what we do. So that's my number 2.
Hmm.
Because I've said it a million times and I thoroughly enjoy it every time I hear it. So you've already heard my tie for number 1, but go ahead.
What?
Yeah.
CJ.
We're on number 2
I'm
or
no,
2, right?
Okay.
We're still on 2.
So
Yeah.
We're on 2. We're still
Yeah.
on 2.
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of good ones from this movie, but my favorite one is Can't You See the Resemblance? That's my brother. Remember the Titans.
Remember the
Like,
Titans.
there's like attitude reflect leadership, Captain. That's another good one. But like
Yeah.
when you see Gary on the bed and like you see how Julius just like they became brothers and like
Yeah.
when you get older you realize the movie isn't so much about football. It really isn't.
It's
so
about
much.
relationships.
Right.
It's about
About life.
relationships and the
Life.
racism that happened back in the day and how they were able to just look behind the skin and look at who the person was. And like that line, you're like, holy shit. Like if you don't cry at that line when you're younger, I will fucking punch you. Because like that line makes me mad when I don't. That line gets to me every single time because the whole movie is they hate each other. They hate each other, and then you have the strong side, left side scene where they're fighting each other. Yeah, and then they're getting close to each other, and his mother still doesn't care for him and everything.
Right.
And then he finally walks in, and his mother is holding Julius in her arms, and it's like that's moving. And then you finally, he's like, only family members only. It's only visiting hours for family members, and he's like, Gladys, can't you see the resemblance? That's my brother, and that's why I like that line.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great
Do you
line.
have another one other than Scarface or?
Well, there's all there's so many quotable movies. I mean, there's also. I would wait for.
I don't know where the hell he went. You go ahead,
Yeah.
then,
You,
John.
you, well, I want to wait for him too. I got to hear his,
Well, you don't have any other ones?
I have a bunch
here
of
it
them.
comes.
Oh,
Huh. About time.
what are you
What?
talking about?
My computer upstairs is going freaking ape shit, and I could hear it through the freaking
I could
microphone.
not hear it
What
at
is-
all.
It sounded like a freaking submarine going boop, 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 boop. And I just
What?
kept hearing this. and I
didn't
went
hear
upstairs.
anything.
Fucking sissy. Like cat. She's sitting on my fucking laptop upstairs. And the keys are locked in place, and it's going boop, 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 boop,
I
going
didn't hear
fucking
it.
crazy.
I didn't
You
hear
didn't
it.
hear that? Yeah, I heard
Wow.
she's. I must be directly underneath.
Oh.
Where
I don't
she's
have my headphones on. I still didn't hear it.
I did, and I was like, "Oh my god, I got to go pee too." And I went upstairs, and I turned the corner, and she's sitting there going, looking at me like
No, she is a weird cat. She really is.
she's an asshole.
Okay, go ahead with your tie for number one. Then.
Tie for number one. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Of course.
Martin Brody, Jaws. We're gonna need a bigger boat, especially when he just freaking and his cigarette goes. He said before that he goes sure. He goes, Hooper drives the boat, Chief, and he goes, sure, we can drive the boats. Go slow ahead, unless you want to come down here and chum some of this shit. And all of a sudden, the shark comes out of
Yeah.
the water, and then as soon as he sees that, he snaps up, and his cigarette goes right in front of him, and you see him backing into the cabin, and Quint's there with his toothpick and his back tooth, and he's rigging up the next line. And he says, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Mhm.
And from that point forward, the movie explodes. And that's where the chase is on from that point. So it's always been.
Yeah, because like up until that point, you don't know what you're dealing with here.
Right.
That was the first sight
right.
of like, holy fuck, are you serious?
Right. You'd seen little pieces along the way, but you'd never had this. There wasn't anything to scale until Quint
Makes his appearance.
It was a tiger shark.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
But when he says we're going to need a bigger boat, and at that point they both walk out, and Quint turns the corner out of the cabin, and about that time the shark goes by, and he goes, "That's a 20-footer, 25, 3 tons of them." You know how you can tell, Chief, by looking from the dorsal to the tail. And so that's one of the great lines from the movie. There's a whole sequence of things, but his snap to attention and saying, we're going to need a bigger boat, unparalleled in movie history. When you're talking about a movie that's in the top 50 movies ever made, that's a classic line from that. And my other one you stole is, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory.
Right. Yep. They're getting ready to surf.
Yeah. Charlie don't surf. And we talked about this. What's his name? Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall lives down. He lives here in Virginia. He lives about 30 miles from here in a little town called Middleburg. And there's this little tiny hole in the wall. Like our pub is just as, I always say our pub, my bar is just as big as the OSC's freaking bar in there in this tavern called the Old Salem Cafe, and he's known to come in there. And I can't wait till they open up and they can have bar service and stuff, because right now you can't have bar service. But as soon as they do that, I'm gonna go see me some Robert Duvall, and I'm gonna yell at him. I'm gonna be drunk as shit, and I'm just gonna yell at him, Charlie, don't surf. But I'm just saying. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to handcuff
My
everybody.
second one is, of course, go ahead, make my day. That's another Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
And I've said that in the mirror again. Like I said,
Yeah.
I've said that probably to you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
At some point in
Make
time,
my day.
that was my number 2.
He
Only
said-
because I've said it a million times.
he had the 45 caliber
Automatic.
automatic.
Yeah.
No, he called it the
Automatic.
40
Automatic.
the
Automatic.
45 caliber automag. And the guy who was in the first Dirty Harry, what was his name? The black guy was in the movie, and he says, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, Harry, what do you got there? And he goes, this is the 45 caliber automag. And I can't think of the guy, the black guy.
Yeah, he had a
who's-
shotgun.
Right. And he goes, you got to straighten the remains to find the fingerprints. And Harry
yeah.
says, this is the 45 caliber or 44 caliber automag, and if properly used, can remove the fingerprints. Well, that black guy that was in that scene, Horace is his name. Horace. Yeah. Because remember, he
Got a
buys,
good memory.
remember his dog, the bulldog shithead,
Right.
or meathead,
Whatever it was. Something
right?
like
Well, the black guy who played Horace is the guy who was, I gots to know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's him. Because The
Wow.
thing about Clint Eastwood is he had so many retread actors that worked on several of his movies, and he played them in several different characters.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Bit of trivia.
yeah.
The coach.
Yeah, I that was one of the things that totally enamored me with Clint Eastwood and his.
He had a
movies.
troop. He had a
Yeah,
troop of
yeah,
guys.
I guess you could say that. Yeah, and they played good guys and they played bad guys, and he mixed and matched them. But that's a great line. All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Wow.
to monopolize.
I'll give you my last two. It's an unofficial holiday, CJ. See,
What?
my next one.
Okay.
It's an unofficial holiday.
I don't know what that is. What?
May the force be with you. Come on.
Don't start with the dad jokes right now. I know it's
Oh,
Star
isn't he
Wars.
dear?
I know it's Star Wars.
And then, well, it's an unofficial holiday, May the 4th. Come on.
May
man.
the Schwartz be with you would have been better, but it's okay.
And then
Yogurt.
it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. That's probably the best one.
That's
Classic.
good. That's
Classic
good.
Step Brothers.
Yes.
Okay. It's
Okay.
Shark Week.
There's so many good lines. in
Oh
that.
my God. Maybe we should do that. Can we do that next time?
What?
Can we do best Will line? Will Ferrell.
There's so many.
Will Ferrell.
Cannonball.
I could do the entire
Milk was a
other
bad
movie of
choice.
the other guys. I could
Frank
do
the
the entire
Tank.
movie.
He had a lot. Frank the Tank.
Jimmy's bitches better be women wearing jimmies.
So how do we do this then? How do we take these famous lines?
What did he
and-
I didn't
say when he
even
was
say my
drinking
number
the
one.
beer? It tastes like it's over my.
He goes, when it hits your lips, it's so cold. Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. We're running through the quad. She's like,
I
We're
didn't
getting
even say-
naked. We're
I
going
didn't even
streaking
say
in the
my
quad.
number one though.
What? I'm sorry.
I already said it last week though.
Oh,
Why so serious?
oh yeah. But that's
From
a
the
great
Joker.
explanation for why, though. I mean, Heath Ledger, gone before his
It
time.
was a great.
It's
Yeah.
sad that like that's one of those lines that everyone just forgets.
Yeah.
He's dead. Like he
Yeah.
was gone at a young age
Yeah.
from overdosing. It's
Yeah.
drugs. It was a horrible case, but like that last movie that he had, holy crap.
I mean, yeah, that's
He was
the
in his
grand
30s
slam.
when he dies, and
Yeah,
you're telling
but
me
you
that
you
that's
can
how you
imagine.
leave?
Excuse me.
Taking on a role like that,
Yeah.
a psychopath.
Where is his career? Excuse me. why-
Jesus.
I got the hiccups. Sorry. Where is his career going after that movie?
Oh, it's going up
Oh.
from there.
We're going up from there. I mean, he's playing the Joker. I mean, it just goes into the stratosphere. Does he become another Al Pacino? Does he become?
He's more like a
Robert-
Johnny Depp. That's how I think of him.
After the Joker, I'm thinking he's beyond that. I mean, he's this young up and
Who
coming.
knows? He may have been Venom. I know Tom Hardy is, but like he was the villain before Tom Hardy was, and he
Yeah.
was that fucking
yeah,
good.
yeah. And in Venom, Tom Hardy plays that good guy who can't quite figure out what's going on. But a great movie.
And he would have been in a lot of other movies. He may have been in like some movies like Kingsman. He would have been perfect.
Oh
for those
yeah, he
types
could
of
have been. He
movies.
could have been. Like I said, his career just goes kaboom. It just goes into the
Right.
stratosphere. I mean, how
all
do
with
you-
that one movie.
Yeah, all because of his portrayal of the Joker,
Yeah.
and he did it in his own style. I mean, he
Yeah.
he did
Yes,
the
because
nobody
nobody.
research, and then
If you go back and watch all those movies of like
It was
you know,
more
Jack Nicholson.
comical and
yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind
you
of
know,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
not,
Jack
not
Nicholson.
like,
He laughed a lot, but a lot of the things that he said weren't like
This town
Not
needs
like
an enema.
scary. They weren't like who
not like scary horror. Like I'm gonna
But-
gut you.
And at the same time, it's like he's like, you know, Batman punches him in the head. He's like, you never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. He's like, why would you start doing that? And then he goes into a rant about like, and then it starts getting into more serious talk. But there's that comical sense
Yeah,
right
but
there.
you have to remember where Batman on TV came from, and it was that kapow, kaboom, and that kind of slapstick thing. And I think that's where I can't remember his name. It was Burt. Was it? It was Burton. Was his guy? Was the guy who did it with Michael Keaton was Batman, and Jack Nicholson was the Joker, and then Danny DeVito played the
Penguin.
Penguin.
the Penguin,
That was more of a
right?
comic book.
Those were all from comic book and from the TV series kind of thing, and then it took this quantum leap to Batman Begins, and then
The Dark Knight.
The
and then
Dark-
Dark Knight Rises.
yeah,
the
and
trilogy.
they just freaking took it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah.
Yeah.
He made some
Just
incredible.
unreal.
All right,
I'm
get the
sorry.
beers.
I gotta
Stop hiccuping.
I'm sorry.
Get the damn beers. Okay, we're gonna move on to the beer tasting. Let me get this music set up. Then we have that. Yeah, we have to have it. Why not?
To clear your
Is
palate.
this it? I forget.
It's an
No,
ad.
it's not.
That's
That's
an
it.
ad.
That's not it, but it's okay. That is definitely not it.
How's he doing? Is he in Fight Club over there?
What?
Fight Club.
He's in the octagon, John.
All right, so we're gonna
Huh.
get into the
Oh,
beer
he's in there.
tasting
He's
here.
in there.
Let's turn
He's
up
in
the
the
music
octagon.
and let's.
Is he watching it?
Oh,
What?
It didn't sound like a beer.
You thought someone was pissing in the toilet over here, dude?
all right. Do we want to start with a bottle or a can? Bottle or can?
Who
Can.
gives a
Let's
can?
start with the can.
There's
Yeah.
only one can, right?
Yeah, there's only one.
can.
Golden ale.
This is called General's Golden Ale, and once again, this is
Antietam.
made by Antietam
Antietam
Brewery,
up
and this is
there.
made in
Up
Hagerstown,
there in
Maryland.
Hagerstown.
Yeah.
That's
The
cute
tagline
music.
for this
This
the
is what we had last
yeah,
year, dude.
Yeah, tagline is
A lot of
Um,
saxophone.
I know.
that it's an easy drinker, smooth and refreshing. It's a golden ale crafted from a blend of American, British, and German malts. So I'm trying to find the
Golden ales are always.
It's 5.4% alcohol by volume. Let's listen to this.
That was
Oh,
awful.
I didn't want to make a mess. I didn't want to spill it on the mic.
That was awful.
Sorry. So let's take a little.
Let's see the.
I'm
Oh,
just
it's got
saying
golden.
for the viewers
It
out
is
there who
definitely
listen to
good.
this audio version, this group of beers has a lot to catch up on
Oh
because
my
last
God.
week's group that we had was just
Were-
ridiculous.
CJ and I drank 3 beers last week that we could not.
we drank the
find.
entire.
And I'm
bottles.
jealous I missed out.
We could not find a
Damn
winner
it.
from last week. There we go.
We drank
CJ,
it.
pass your glass over here, buddy.
Come on.
These are
Oh. The smell is good too.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's got a great.
It's got
a great. Look
Sometimes
to it.
beer doesn't smell very good, especially if it's got like really no flavor to
does.
it.
Has
But
almost a fruity smell to it.
I don't even know.
It's
It's got-
clear, but it's not clear through.
Got an Odie.
It's
Odie
not.
like
It's not like a light beer.
It starts off strong, and then it goes away.
Oh, it does hit hard, doesn't it?
It does,
But then
really-
it fades.
Then it goes away.
That's refreshing. That's
not
good.
bad.
That's
That
good.
is, and then that's what they said.
Antietam makes good
They
stuff.
make great beers. I'm telling you what. Antietam Brewery,
This is
Hagerstown,
good.
Maryland.
The
This,
aftertaste.
this is good.
Yeah, the
It does-
aftertaste. There's
it's
not
a-
much of it.
There isn't. It finishes well, and I've always said that about our beers. If there's a little bit left in the can, if anybody wants some, but that finishes
really
really, really well.
Yes.
I like this.
This easy drinker is smooth and refreshing. This is good stuff right here.
Mhm.
General's Golden Ale.
General's Golden Ale. So far, big hitter right there. And I took the damn can opener.
No,
off.
It's right here.
It's
Oh, I
in
couldn't
front
see
of
it.
the
I'm sorry.
box.
I'm
there.
sorry. All
Front of
right.
it.
So this is
was
called.
That's
I
good.
like that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's got a lot of competition, though. I'm telling you, because the vanilla porter. I am not the biggest
Last
fan
week?
of porters.
Or was it last week?
Last week we had a vanilla porter. Oh my!
Where was it
goodness.
from?
Let me
I
find it on
didn't
here.
listen.
I have it in my pictures.
All right. So the next one is called the Big Wave Golden Ale. It is brewed and bottled by Kona Brewing Company, and it's brewed in 2 different places. One is in Fort Collins, Colorado, and Kona, Hawaii.
It's a
Ah,
vanilla porter out in Breckenridge.
Mahalo for drinking
Brewery
responsibly.
in Colorado.
It is a light beer. It's less than a regular beer. It's 4.4. CJ, can we drop the volume on that just a tad? Thank you. It's 4.4% alcohol by
Light.
volume. Yeah, so it's a very light one. It's called Big Wave Golden Ale.
so they got a little lizard.
Oh,
Very
look at that!
golden.
Very clear,
That's super light.
very crystal clear on that.
Well, hopefully the airmen out there in
Fair
Fort
enough.
Collins like it. Out there. In,
Yeah. Like I
Give
said,
yourself a
that
pour there.
one out in Colorado.
What do you got
the
to smell
Breckenridge
wise?
one, that
See
was-
now smell it's.
I really don't like the smell.
I don't like the smell.
Put it on your mic. You can't hear
No,
you.
I really don't like the smell.
No,
the
it's
smell.
the smell.
It's got like some
No,
kind
No,
of
not
like.
aroma.
The aroma, yeah.
The aroma's
yeah.
not good.
That is not.
Now the
very
packaging. Now the
potent.
packaging. I will tell you
Yeah.
the label is cool because it's like a huge. I don't know what would you call that big canoe
Like a catamaran kind of thing.
with the.
That's a little strong there, Coach.
But it's 4.4%.
It's a
so
light
it's a
beer.
very
I
light
get
beer.
that though, but
Our sun drenched
if
Big
I was
Wave
to
Golden Ale is
drink
a
a
smooth
couple
brew.
of these,
It's inspired by what makes Hawaii great.
Not terrible. but
Catch a wave.
It's
I would
not-
only be able to drink
you're
one
n-
of these. so
Year
maybe
round
not
the
a
way-
chance, 'cause
It's not.
just
It's not terrible.
but it's not. I don't
If
know.
somebody had these
doesn't
available
have
at
good
a party,
aftertaste.
it that's where it gets me. And we talked about how a beer finishes, and when a beer finishes strong, like the Golden Ale, like we had
Look
before
at
from
this.
it's
Antietam,
kind of growing on me after like
it's not.
Fish?
No, it's
I
Hawaii.
can't see it in the light. Okay, there you go. You had your
Ah.
hand facing on it.
See now the initial taste is it tastes like almost like an IPA when you first
A
taste
slight,
it.
but there's no bitters. There's
No,
like
there-
the
no,
IBUs. Like no bitters. It's not very hoppy at all. I think it finished. You take
It's
another
not-
sip.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's-
take
it's-
another.
it's-
Take
The
give me a
aftertaste
little bit.
don't
Of,
like
give me a
the
little.
aftertaste.
Give me another one of that.
Now
That
the,
is just
the
something-
aftertaste is better than the initial taste.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
you're exactly right.
So
I think
like
it's
I
exactly
don't
right.
know. I feel like I don't know.
It finishes better than it starts.
This is a complicated beer.
So
It
it's-
is.
So it's
kind
like
of.
they're saying it's like a wave. So it's like the wave as it hits you,
I get
rough,
sucked into the salt.
rough,
What? Oh.
and then as soon as the wave breaks, it's smooth. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what they're trying to get at. I don't know. That's what they're
It
saying.
doesn't finish all that badly, though.
No,
It's not bad.
it hits you, and
No.
then it's like smooth out. Like
Next to Golden Ale, where are we looking? Second?
I think that's second.
this is
Because
number
the-
one. I like
Yeah,
this
that Golden Ale was
That
very
that
nice.
was refreshing,
Very, very
especially
good.
in this
All
summer
right, the
heat.
third one.
Right. Our third one is going to be a little bit something different. This is Kentucky Vanilla Barrel Cream Ale. And I picked it. It's aged in a bourbon
Oh.
barrel.
Ooh,
All right.
This is gonna.
So I'm excited about this. I looked it up, and it's a cream ale
But
with
it's
natural
aged in
flavor, and it's
oak.
aged in a freaking bourbon barrel.
Oak, vanilla, caramel, toffee. It's gonna be pretty good. Now I wonder if it's dark. But it's
No,
cream.
it's in where's my? It's in a it's in a
red. You
brown
can't
bottle.
see it.
I
You
know.
must be, you can see in green.
It's in a brown bottle. Oh, look at this!
It's got a stallion on
You guys
it.
are turning
look-
me on to these cream ales.
Look how clear that is. It's a darker cream ale. You want me to pour yours?
Yes.
All right. All right. Viggs, you want to pour your own?
It smells like a cupcake.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's
Smells-
5.5%
vanilla.
alcohol
It
by
smells cream.
volume. It's made in Lexington, Kentucky. Brewed and
Ooh.
packaged. 5.5% alcohol by volume. What kind of a
Oh,
smell
that's
we
good.
got?
I like that.
Oh, it does have a very vanilla smell to it, doesn't it?
The first thing
It's
that came to
the
my
best
mind
bourbon.
was a
But it has
cupcake.
a
That's
dark.
It's like I'm drinking a cupcake right
yeah.
Really?
It's
now. With
good.
a little bit of like alcohol in it. It's literally
good.
like I'm drinking a
Not
cupcake.
bad.
Now you don't chug this thing here.
It would have
It's
but
sick.
it's only
And the
5.5.
aftertaste is delicious.
It fades.
It's so good.
It fades really quickly.
It's good.
Wow,
It's like a beer cupcake.
that is a wow. I can't
The
explain
aftertaste. The aftertaste
It's
is that
not bad.
caramel.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the notes are oak, vanilla, caramel, and toffee. I taste the caramel more than anything. Me personally.
the vanilla.
I taste the vanilla.
that. Definitely, because I think you smell the vanilla,
Yeah, I can smell vanilla, but I taste the caramel.
caramel, and toffee. Maybe
It's got to do with how it's aged in the bourbon
I want
barrels.
to chew it. I know it sounds weird. It's like I
But
don't know. It's like a candy bar.
Yeah, but-
it's really good.
But if you were to have these once again, if
This
you're
is really
sitting
good.
at
It's
a if you're sitting at a party and somebody brought
Relaxing.
these with you, or brought them to the party, are you drinking these?
Yeah.
All three? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll
Hell
drink all
yeah.
three of these.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah!
That's in first place for me. That
Yeah,
vanilla cream.
me too. Me too.
And then I'd say the big wave is in last for me.
Yeah, the
Like,
big.
I just-
Unfortunately, the big wave. I mean, the golden ale though.
That's
It's just
a,
the golden
that's
ale's
a solid
It's
beer.
refreshing.
Let me have
I
some
just
more of that
love the
freaking vanilla.
tastefulness.
You want
of the
you want some of
vanilla.
that?
I just love the
It's like-
tastefulness of that vanilla.
Would you
cream,
call it
man.
a dessert beer?
It's like having Kahlua with ice
Maybe.
cream.
Maybe.
Well, I'm just saying.
you know what does it? It does
Because you
have
wouldn't,
that
but you wouldn't
kind of-
have this with like steak or a burger or anything. You would have it maybe after your meal. Would you not? This you would have with a steak or a burger.
I'm just drinking.
I
them.
mean, I would drink these.
I'm
just,
watching
you know.
TV and I'm drinking them.
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean,
drinking
this
the
is like
Antietam's Golden Ales like that. Like
mean,
crazy.
like CJ,
CJ,
said. This is like
we need to freaking tweet out to freaking Antietam Brewery how well and how much we like their freaking
golden
Okay.
ale.
their beers.
My wife does not drink beer, but I think she would drink this.
She
one.
would drink.
Have her
she would
try
like
I
it.
absolutely think she would drink.
It's
So-
refreshing.
Let's get Tiffany over here. Call Tiffany over.
Tiff, come here a second.
Hey,
I know you're not a beer
yeah,
drinker.
come over
we
here.
know this.
We know you don't
You
don't
don't
drink a
drink
lot
beer.
of beer, but you got to try
Well,
this.
No, I just want you to take a taste.
First
Tell me-
thing is,
I said
first thing is,
Don't
first thing
don't
is,
judge it.
you got to smell it first.
Yes,
smell
smell
it
it first.
that's
Smell
what
it.
she said.
I'm scared.
No, just smell it first.
No. Just smell it first. Come here, dear.
Okay, it smells good.
You got
Yeah.
Kingston, or are you coming over?
Well,
All right, we'll try it
get
after.
Antina-
We'll get her.
get-
we'll get
This
her.
guy smells really good.
Yeah,
actually,
yes,
that's what I
no-
said. What,
yes.
okay, what does it smell like?
What's the first thing that hits your nose?
What's the first thing comes into your mind?
Like a vanilla.
Yes.
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 I
So
said
this is
cupcake. I said it
it's a
smelled like
cream-
cupcake to me.
It's a cream ale. It's been
Try
aged-
that.
This
Try
beer
it.
has
And the
been
reason I
aged-
called you over here because you don't drink beer. So I said my wife would probably drink this.
Yeah.
She
Still
goes,
has a beer after.
Yes.
Well,
me,
you know,
but other than
She's
that-
not a
Right.
beer person.
well, no,
but-
it's
but
just
you
the
can
way.
actually drink that.
Yeah.
Great.
Write that down.
But
Coach,
that's.
Then we
Put
got
it
the-
over here so I can take a picture of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get. We put them
Yeah.
up there. Let's get put them. Put the first, second, and third. First is in the middle.
Oh,
Oh,
excellent.
Yeah, there we go. Make sure all our labels are
there you go.
clear.
Labels good, CJ.
And we
yeah, they're good.
and then put this one. Put this because we can't contact that freaking Kentucky brewery, but we can do put this one over here, and then tweet out to Antietam Brewery how much we like this one, and see if we can get some free beer from these fuckers.
Okay.
Take a picture of the Antietam Brewery in the middle, and then tweet it out, telling them that we did it on our show.
Okay.
Make sure our good labels.
Kentucky proud. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah,
I could actually
we'll
drink,
tweet them out.
drink that all night.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go on to hops then, guys, and let's
All
get
right.
out of here. Okay, so for any of our new listeners, hops of the week, if there has been something that you saw on the news, something that has sparked your interest this past week, something that has I want to say just any random topic. It can be about anything that you can think of. It could be about sex. Please don't talk about sex on the show. But it could be about anything, and just that's about your hops of the week. So, you want me to go for? Do you all have one or no? I'm
Does
just
everybody
asking.
have a hops of the week?
Yes.
I have one.
two.
I only have one,
I got
but
two.
two's
I have two.
great. So
Okay.
if you have two, that's awesome. I have one that was very profound, but I'll lead. I'll come in second somewhere else. So
Okay.
John, go ahead. As a
Okay.
freaking guest, let John.
Oh, okay. All right. My first one is this is from Canada.
Fuck Canada.
This happened in Canada. Okay,
No.
so
Motherfuckers
Just
in
keep
Canada.
drinking here, Johnny.
If it wasn't a 15-year-old in fucking Canada,
Oh my God!
I don't even
Stop
like
it.
saying. I don't even like saying fucking
Wow.
Canada anymore.
So they had their first winner of a lottery since COVID-19.
No shit.
The first ceremonial check was presented since COVID-19, and of course it's Canada. So you got to remember this. It's Canada. It was presented by a robot. They used a robot to present the check,
What? How much was it?
and I don't have that.
Oh.
They didn't have that in the article, but they had a picture of the robot. It looked like the robot from what's that old show?
Danger Will
That one, exactly. That's
with the arms flail.
Of
Yeah.
course.
it had like it was crazy.
But so somebody won the fucking
They
lottery,
won the lottery, and it was some ungodly amount of money, of course.
and then
they, because of the COVID-19, the presenter was a robot. So I guess
Nah.
That's awesome.
so.
but that's
And he had a mask on too.
But
which
that's
was
typical
doubly-
of fucking-
didn't make any
the
sense.
robot had a mask
Yeah,
on.
somebody I guess for a joke had a
hey,
mask.
how
on.
many times have fucking computers
Jesus.
had freaking viruses, right? Computer virus. Well, you know.
CJ, that's
But leave
that,
it- that was
CJ, that's your
stupid.
dad.
Leave it up.
That's a dad
Hey,
joke.
hey,
That's definitely a dad.
hey,
joke. You got to be a
fuck-
dad.
Hey, I don't like to say the F word too much, but fuck you because
That's awesome. I love
it's fucking Canada.
And my second one
Oh,
was, or should I do?
Yeah,
gonna
go ahead,
around?
go ahead,
go ahead.
My second one was the highest price ever for a video game. So it's sold for the highest price. Can anybody guess what it was?
$100.
Can anybody guess what the game was?
Super
Was it
Mario.
recent
It
or
was actually
Okay.
Super Mario. So
for
anybody-
like Nintendo 64
For like-
or
Can-
No,
can
from
it-
like
can anybody guess what what it auctioned for.
Ugh,
This was, I think, the original,
Say
maybe
like
the original.
300.
The
100,000.
original game.
100,000.
Wow, got to be more than that. Got to
100,000.
be more.
More than
the
100,000.
original freaking.
For a
The
video game?
original.
Yeah,
the
this is- yeah,
original
it's
Mario
super.
Brothers?
It's
This is the highest priced ever.
It's
auction.
Mario. Like that's like
125,000.
don't say a million.
No.
No, 5.
It was 114,000.
Oh,
The highest priced
close.
ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
The original cartridge.
I had that.
Well,
I mean, that's just like we all.
Well,
I mean,
there's
I have
right
it.
now.
You
Right
could've
now,
been
there was
rich,
a,
you
so there was a yard.
bastard.
There's we had a community yard sale today, and there was 5 people that came and asked me about video games. Apparently, video games right now are the hottest
and Pokemon cards.
thing right now because
you said
because
that. I just saw that. Go ahead.
the
go ahead and
people
finish.
that played PlayStation 2, which would have been around my age ish,
like
when he was a
2000.
kid, when
you know,
like,
I'm a little bit older than you,
buying one.
CJ, but like the people that had
He
like
was a little boy at the
apparently
time when I bought
PS2
PS2.
games right now are the
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
trading things and collectors because people are paying out the butt for like Final Fantasy and all these other ones. And
Yeah.
I wasn't big into role player games, but like 5 people came to the yard sale and asked about video games.
Yeah, but you live in West Virginia.
Ah.
Tell them get the fuck out. Hey, there's a strip joint down the road. Get the fuck out of here. BYOB, get the fuck out. You shitbags. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean it's super
I love
like
West Virginia.
it's super hot right now with any types of video games, especially the early ones.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
The Pokemon. When I saw,
Yeah,
what
you
that
were
stuff's
saying
worth,
you were
my
telling.
son Jordan, my oldest son,
Yeah, how old is Jordan?
he'll be 28 next month,
I thought so. I thought he was 3 years older.
and
than
he
CJ.
he had every Pokemon card, everything you can imagine, and I
CJ
was
CJ, what was the name of the game you played with the cards? And you would go, and I have this.
Oh,
And-
Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, the Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then there was
Dragon Ball
another
Z?
one. There was what was the other one that?
Dragon Ball Z,
I didn't play any other.
Yeah,
some
no,
of
that
that
was-
is worth.
Buku's.
Yeah, and
now.
he had all that. He had like the gold
There was
press
there was
yeah.
card, and I you know what I did when I saw that? I freaking went to the attic, and I was freaking looking at
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't find it, but
Yeah,
you know, it is
yeah.
what it is.
got to find him because I thought there was another. What was
The only
it?
card game I played was Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, but there was
Magic?
another Magic. Magic, the Wandering, the
I never
Wandering.
played that.
I'll never play
But
that.
no, that was a really big game, and
Yeah.
I just happened to see that on eBay. I always
Yeah.
search eBay for stupid shit, but there was something on there about I always do. I'm always looking for simple things
Yeah.
that I can use. Like I was looking for to add to my golf bag, and so I look up a number of golf items, and then they always throw on these things you might be interested in if you have them, and they always send you these little email reminders and stuff. And one of them was the things like Yu-Gi-Oh and all of these card games, and the other one was Magic. What was it? Magic the Gathering or
it's,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
And these people were selling, so I was like, I'm like, and I go over and I start searching them, and these cards are $6, $7, $8 a piece. And when you start putting in these people that have these hundreds of cards, they're thousands of dollars for these cards. And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, my kids played with these games, and
You know what really, really gets me is when we were at the old movie theater there in Waynesboro, and we got to go down in the basement and look at all the posters, and they said we could
Oh,
have.
yeah, yeah.
He was like, "You could have anyone you want," and we were like, "We
Right.
don't want that shit."
Right today,
If we would have taken some of those,
Yeah.
I mean,
I can remember in my freaking dorm room at school, people were like, "Where did you get that?" And I had Rambo's freaking First Blood Part 2, and people were like, "Where did you get that?" And one of my favorite ones was with Patrick Swayze. It was like one of his first movies, and Gene Hackman, and it was I can't.
Patrick Swayze and Gene.
Yeah, they were. Gene Hackman was trying to find his son who may have been a prisoner of war.
Oh yeah, that's.
I can't even think of it. And
yeah, I know exactly.
and I
what you're
had it
talking
on
about.
my wall, and everybody commented about it. And I can't even think of it. I can't even think of it off the top of my head.
MIA or something.
Yeah, but and
Was it
that's-
missing in action? Or was
no, that was
that's
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. I'll think about it later. But that was shit that people are interested in
Now,
today.
Yep.
Yeah, how big are concert T-shirts? The old concert T-shirts. You know, if you have a freaking extra large freaking AC/DC concert T-shirt from freaking like 1984, people are like, "I'll give you $1,000 for that fucker." You know what I mean? So, but that's how people are. You know, the more things change, the more they stay the same, and people are willing to pay the money for it. So,
Mhm.
all right. So those were good freaking hops. You got one, Biggs?
Yeah, it's kind of sad though, but
Sad. Mine's
so-
sad. Mine's
well,
kind of sad.
all right. So
Mine's sad
R-
and uplifting all in the same.
R.I.P. to
CJ did not
Carlton
like to say it.
Hasselrig.
Oh yeah.
He's from my hometown.
man.
Yep.
He's from my hometown, and he is the only 6-time NCAA wrestling
They
champion.
changed
PA?
the rule.
They-
They changed
What's
the
that?
rule
You're,
because
you're from PA?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
originally from Johnstown.
Johnstown? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, we grew up
Carlton
there.
House.
Yeah,
Yeah, we-
and
Pitt
he's
Johnstown.
and he's the only 6-time NCAA champion, and they created the rule that
The
D2
Hasselrig rule.
the D2 and D3 guys can't wrestle D1 guys because for fear that they would beat them, and all the good wrestlers would go D2 or D3.
Right. They
But
changed the rule.
But I
because
mean,
of
he
it.
was
Well-
he was a 10th round pick, by the Steelers, signed to the practice squad, and he ends up a year or 2 years later, making the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
And he played 5 seasons and one with the Jets, and he had some,
alcohol issues.
alcohol issues, and
Yep. Just like we do.
I mean, it's basically the way that our hometown paper described it was the Kobe Bryant of Johnstown. That's how big and how great
Yeah.
of an athlete
Wow.
he
Yeah,
was,
he was phenomenal.
to the
That's a
Johnstown
good
area.
Analogy. That's,
He's the Kobe Bryant of the Johnstown area.
Yeah.
That's how phenomenal of an athlete he was.
It's a tragedy what happened to him.
Yeah.
We go up there to wrestle every year. We go
Yeah.
up there-
I mean,
Johnstown.
Yeah.
PA Power has a giant tournament up there
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah, John's son is, and I want to bring this up, and he would bring it up, but I'm going to bring it
No,
up.
if it's what I told you today, we don't want to bring that up.
Well, I'm just going to say it anyway because they don't know who you are. But his son was contacted by one of the elite coaches in wrestling in college powerhouses, and to have that happen to this kid is nothing short of amazing. And his son, who is a tremendous wrestler, has nothing but a bright future in the sport. And if it comes to fruition, it's going to be pretty exciting. And I'm going to
That's
freaking
awesome.
go. Oh, it's going to be. We'll talk about it off the mic, and you are going to be thoroughly impressed when I tell you who
That's
called
awesome.
his son.
It's Kel Sanderson.
No. Well, we won't go
won't
there.
say anything,
We won't
but-
go anything. We'll talk about it off mic. But looking at his face, you ought to know that it's pretty special. And his son, who I've known since he was a little boy, and I'm totally sold on that kid. And I will go wherever he wants to go, and I will watch him wrestle, and I will do whatever I can. Because we've talked about football, and I've been a coach and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but my life in coaching is short-lived.
Yeah.
It's about to get. It could be next year. Could be totally revitalized if something that I'm looking forward to takes place. If it doesn't, it's okay. I'll hang up my freaking whistle, and I'm gonna go watch his son do his
Yeah.
thing. So, but that's where I'm at with that. But great freaking story about Carlton Hasselrig.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
Legend in the
yes.
Johnstown area.
Yeah, but a
Absolutely.
tragedy. CJ, do you want me to do mine and you can finish
Yeah,
it up?
sure.
Mine is, if you haven't watched this, you need to find out about it. This is something that was on Showtime, and it's called Outcry. And it's a 5-part documentary about this kid named Greg Kelly. He was a Texas football player, and when he became a starter on their football team when he was only a sophomore, and then by the time he was a senior, he had a number of schools looking at him. He was ready to go to University of Texas at San Antonio. He got his scholarship. He was ready to go, and then all of a sudden, reports came out that he had touched a kid. He touched a 4-year-old kid, and he was brought up on charges. And he's like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. His mother had had brain surgery. His father was battling. I think his father was battling cancer and anything. And his father eventually ended up passing away and stuff like that. Excuse me. But this kid who remained strong tried to do the right thing, and he went through the legal system, and the legal system fucked him over, and he was tried, convicted, and sentenced to 25 years without parole for touching a 40-year-old boy. And his defense attorney decided that she would seek help because she didn't feel like what had got him convicted was enough. She thought he was an innocent kid. And this guy fights for him, fights through the legal system, and he fucking wins. And this kid, who is now today enrolled at the University of Texas, it talks about the legal battles that take place. And you've seen these before, where you've seen these kids get freaking hung out to dry and they get freaking just crushed by the legal system. This kid, his girlfriend stands by him. She figured, and her family stands by him. His mother's with him, and then he gets this groundswell of support and everything like that. And then it turns out that he's fucking innocent.
Wow.
He's fucking innocent. And it takes place over 6 years. And this documentary is absolutely fucking phenomenal. And if you don't watch it, it's just, you're missing something really, really good. And they're only 1 hour episodes, so it's 5 hours long, but it is so good. CJ's mother and I watched it, and we were angry and we were pissed off. And the freaking, sorry about this, because John's a freaking former police officer, canine police officer. For how many years were you a police officer?
21.
He was 21 years in a police officer, but these police officers fucked him over. And then the legal system fucked him over. And then he got the right person to defend him and get the support he needed. And they turned the system around, and it is absolutely phenomenal. You have to watch it. It's really good. It's called Outcry. The biggest dilemma I had with it is at the very end, when you find out that this kid, his name's Greg Kelly. When you find out that he's innocent, the first thing that comes to mind is, what about those little kids? What about the little boy who said he touched him? What about him? And there are no answers. There are no answers other than to say that the court system, and then the Texas Court of Appeals, is made up of 9 justices, and those 9 justices, all 9 justices, found in his favor and found him innocent.
Wow. That's
crazy.
And that is
very crazy.
absolutely unheard of, because most of the justices on the Court of Appeals are former prosecutors. So what do? Prosecutors find people guilty. They found this kid innocent.
Wow.
And he changed his life. And he just had, this past spring, he had a private walk-on. So he's trying to walk on at the University of Texas.
Wow.
Nice.
So we'll find out what
Nice.
happens with him. But great story.
Wow.
It's a tragedy, and it's uplifting. It's a really cool story. And if you don't watch it, you're fucking bumped your head. It's really good. It's really good. So Outcry on freaking Showtime. If you can get it, watch it. You'll thoroughly enjoy it.
So yeah, I'm up next.
I'm sorry, CJ.
No, you're fine. I would truly.
I went really
absolutely-
long-winded on that. but
I don't
it
know
was-
if I would want to watch that, because I might get too pissed. 'Cause,
You will be pissed off initially.
I feel like I would look at that and go, "Are you-"
It's on Netflix.
like.
Is that what,
no,
is
it's
that
on
what-
Showtime.
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 So I feel
Check
like
it out, dude.
I
I'm
don't want
telling
to
you.
watch that, because I would get very upset and not want to watch the rest of it, even though I know what happens in the end.
Yeah, but your mother and I started watching it because we just happened to see it. We paused TV while we were doing whatever in the kitchen and stuff. And I was like, what's this Outcry thing? And she goes, I don't know. I'll look it up. And she started to look it up, and we watched it. We watched it over 3 days. We watched double
Wow.
episodes and then watched it. And we were like, holy fuck, this is so good. We got to start telling people about it.
Okay, so
Really good.
I have 2. Mine are actually very like eerie stories. Like they're I'm a very big like eerie story guy. Like I like paranormal stuff. I like that type of stuff. But this first one is actually a history one. So I was just searching through the internet and I came across this guy's channel, and he's actually my second hops. But one of the recommended videos that I watched is my first one, and it was this talk about during Joseph Stalin's reign. People forget that like they talk about the Holocaust and how that genocide was ginormous. Well, they forget that Joseph Stalin, he was actually a ruthless killer. He killed his own types of people, his own people in Russia. And it talks about in this video how there was actually this mysterious island out in Serbia, how they were building these buildings and houses for the soldiers out there. Apparently there was an island out in the middle of this lake, and there was like it was off the shore of a city. It's known as Cannibal Island to this day because there was killing on that island from humans, the workers themselves, who literally ate their own comrades on the island while working on the island because the conditions were so rough and there was no food fed to them. All they fed them was flour for bread. They didn't even feed them full bread. They just fed them flour. So what did the inmates do or the prisoners do? They ate each other.
Goodness.
Uh-huh.
And so like they
Someone's got to be
one
hungry.
of the stories was this woman who was walking and she had cloths on her legs, and they were like, why the hell do you have cloth on your leg covering your calves? Well, they picked up the cloth off of her calves and they realized there was no meat on her calves because they were completely eaten off from people.
Oh my.
And this is a true story. This is
Golden
back
nail?
when Joseph Stalin was the dictator of Russia at the time, or that would turn into the USSR. So it's a very eerie story that you don't really think about.
Wow.
Because you think about the Holocaust,
Yeah.
the fact that there was an island that's known today as Cannibal Island and it's forgotten in history. But according to this guy, he was able to recover stuff on that island.
That's
So-
interesting. I have to look that up.
So they found the remains of people on there.
Yes, but that was due to exposure and to the elements because they're in Serbia. It's fucking cold all the time out there. And so they literally ate each other out there. And so my second one was this it's a YouTube channel guy. His name is Mr. Ballin. He's a former Navy SEAL. He's huge. He's a ginormous guy. And he talks about paranormal stories. He stands in front of the camera and he tells you and he reads you stories about eerie things that have happened in the United States and around the world that you go, that can't fucking be possible. But this is
For those
actually-
of you who don't know, CJ loves the freaking Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
I know,
Me
but this
too. Me
is
too.
coming. This
I
is-
do too.
You like Ghost Adventures? That's coming from a cop, motherfucker.
no.
And like,
I just know how much you really get into that stuff.
but this is coming from like I said, the narrator, the guy who's standing in front of the camera, he's a former Navy SEAL. Like this guy, he shouldn't be afraid of anything, but he's telling scary stories. And one of the stories he tells people about is called the Yuba City Five, which is a murder case out in Colorado. It basically talks about these five boys who were big time basketball fans who went out to a city called Yuba City and to see a basketball. Actually, no, they went to go see. They went to what was it? They went to go see a UC Davis game, and they're from Yuba City. That's where they're from. They went to go see a UC Davis game because they're big basketball fans. And they go to the game, and they're supposed to come back home because they actually have a tournament the next morning. Well, days go by, and the boys aren't heard of. They're not found or anything. And well,
shit.
apparently, yeah, all five
No.
of them are not heard from. And so a search goes out, and like apparently where UC Davis is, it's 50 miles from Yuba City. Apparently their car is found 70 miles in the other fucking direction up in the mountains of Colorado, just out in the middle of nowhere. And they were only able to recover the bodies of 4 of the boys. They couldn't find the 5th one, apparently. And they talk about how like there was just this trailer out in the middle of nowhere. And one of the boys is in there. And like the cops, they're all searching the area because they found their car. They found the car where.
So all they found were remains.
They found remains, and they found one body because he was frozen solid inside of the trailer. because the cops were searching around and the Rangers were, and they were overcome with this smell,
Right.
decomposition of the body. Rigor mortis is going to set in, the body is going to start dying. Well, they found the body inside of the trailer, and they were able to recover remains of other bodies because animals got to the other bodies.
Right,
Unfortunately,
right.
wolves got to them, and so like he tells these types of stories that are really eerie. But like I said, he's a former Navy SEAL, and he's like, why would he be scared? But these are fucking freaky ass stories. So like, I recommend his YouTube channel out there. It's called Mr. Ballin. It's all one word, but he tells some very scary stories out there. Some more freaky ones, but that was his most recent video that I watched.
Wow. That shit scares me, man, to think about people just going about their lives. And then for whatever reason,
And it was undiscovered.
Just-
Like they tried to debunk, like, what the hell happened here?
right.
Why is it that the boys are going 70 miles in the opposite direction instead of heading home? Why is this happening? And they said that they talked to like a convenience store owner that was like down the road from the basketball game. And he was the last person to see those boys that night. He says, like, I thought they were headed home, I guess, but I guess
Wow.
not. So yeah, it's a strange world out there.
I'm sure a UFO was involved.
ET phone home. Yeah.
Hey, that could have been one of the freaking top lines right there.
There you go.
ET.
Yeah, that was
Phone
that was on the
home.
list.
Okay, guys,
ET.
let's wrap it up here then.
Yeah. We had some really good beers, didn't we?
Yeah, I still think that last
We're still
week, though, was
we just
like,
had the rest of the General's Ale right there. And then I got one bottle left. I think I'll save that for your brother unless he gets
okay,
sick.
Notorious Vic.
Unless he gets
Welcome.
sick again.
Thank you for joining the show once again.
You're welcome.
John,
Always a
thanks for-
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
joining
having
the
me.
show,
The
guys.
notorious VIG. And my boy John Schindeldecker, man. I love
Appreciate it.
having him around.
hopefully,
Brought his grandson tonight.
hopefully here next week the NBA will be back in full swing.
Yep, they had
And
the
hopefully in
scrimmages.
2 weeks, the NFL will start training camp and injuries will start to happen, and we'll finally have something to fucking talk about in terms of live sports.
Yeah. Major League Baseball's off and running.
Any other
Um,
final thoughts, guys?
It's all good. No, you got anything? Got anything you want to
Live
say?
long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Hey,
What are you doing? Oh, you're doing the Spock. Okay. All right,
because he
guys.
said that.
I know. Live long and prosper. Yeah, I know.
Right. Live long. And prosper.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on the show. But until
Yeah,
next
man.
time, guys. Peace out. Love you.
See ya.